Hey y'all, welcome to Peyton Energetics. I'm Peyton. So today we are going to be talking about starseed gifts. So in our past couple of videos, we've been talking a lot about some of the challenges of being a starseed. And today we are going to flip the script on that and talk about the good stuff. So today we are talking about starseed superpowers, some of those special gifts and abilities that come with being a starseed that you might not know you have. The first thing that jumps out at me as one of the starseed superpowers that I see in most of the starseeds that I work with is that starseeds almost across the board tend to be very sensitive, highly empathic, and very intuitive. And so what this means is that starseeds tend to be very good naturally at reading energy. They tend to be able to pick up on energies that are invisible to the average person. What that can mean is that starseeds often are very psychically active. So as a starseed, you may find that you get visions or that you can very easily connect with the spirit realm, or that you're telepathic, that you know what other people are thinking that are close to you. And these are some of the signs that as a starseed, you have a very heightened sensitivity to energy fields. Another way that this gift often shows up in my starseed clients is in the empaths. And so empaths, of course, are very sensitive to the emotional fields of other people. So empaths are really good at knowing what other people are feeling, even if the other person isn't talking about it. So one of the things that really is one of the superpowers of the starseed is this incredible sensitivity that most starseeds have. Now, as I go through these things, this does not mean that every single starseed will have each of these gifts, but these are just some things for you to start looking for, because it may be something that you do naturally, but that you don't realize you're doing it. So use this list as guidelines or some examples of gifts that starseeds have. But again, no one thing fits everyone. So you may not have every one of the things on this list, but chances are you will resonate with some of them if you are a starseed. So the first gift is this incredible sensitivity that we have as starseeds. And one of the benefits of these sensitivities, and we've talked a little bit about how important it is to understand our sensitivity and have tools to help us manage it in a productive way. Because if sensitivity, especially extreme sensitivity that so many starseeds and lightworkers have, is left uncontrolled, it can be kind of like a runaway horse. So it's very important to be able to master your sensitivity and make it work for you. But as you do that as a starseed, as you learn some energy protection tools and learn to work with your sensitivity, it really does become a superpower. Because one example, of course, of using this sensitivity in a powerful and very productive way is that starseeds are often, as I said, very psychically active. So as a starseed, you may find that it's very easy for you to connect with spirit or to connect with people who have passed over. Because again, you often, as a starseed, have a much heightened sensitivity to energy than the average person. So that is one of the gifts of the starseed, is heightened sensitivity to energy. Now, another thing that many starseeds are very good at, and it relates to the sensitivity we were just talking about, most starseeds are very good at reading energy, whether that is reading the emotional fields of other people, whether that is picking up on messages from our galactic family, the galactic community. Starseeds often make excellent intuitives, excellent channels is another thing that many starseeds are just naturally gifted at. And again, it's because of the heightened sensitivity that we hold often as starseeds, and also because as starseeds, we vibrate at a frequency much higher than the average person. What that means is we pick up on things. Things are within our perception that are not within the range of perception of the average person. But everything is changing. All of us across our entire collective are becoming more sensitive. So all of these things that can stand out as being somewhat unique to starseeds, we're going to start seeing this in everyone. But right now, as a starseed, you kind of have a head start. And so again, using these gifts can really help enrich your life. So looking to see, are you someone who is gifted at feeling the emotions of other people? Are you good at connecting with multidimensional beings? Are you good at connecting with spirit, connecting with people who have passed over? Because many starseeds will find that this comes quite naturally to them. So let me know in the comments, what are some of the special gifts you have as a starseed? Because we are all so unique, and I'm just giving you a quick list of some of the things I see most commonly in my starseed clients and the starseeds that I work with. But I love to hear back from you guys as to what your special powers are, because we all will manifest these gifts in our own unique way. So if you hear something here and it doesn't resonate with you, or you don't think that you have that gift, you probably have something else that's even more unique and beautiful. So these are just starting off points, but let me know in the comments, what are your gifts as a starseed? And while you're down there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button if you haven't done that already. So as we are moving on to talk about some of the things that are often gifts or special abilities in starseeds, the next thing that I often see in starseeds is that they're very connected with their star family. And this is something that is very common in starseeds, that we are very connected to the galactics. And the reason for this is starseeds, of course, come from a star civilization. That's the definition of a starseed. And because of this, the reason that starseeds came to planet Earth is to help the ascension process. So we volunteered for this gig. And so now that we are here, most of us have pre-incarnation agreements to stay in touch with our star family. So our star family is guiding us, available to us at all times, and is very closely monitoring and protecting us. Because of this unique connection that starseeds have with the galactic community, it's often much easier for us to connect with our star family than it is with the average person. So as a starseed, you may find that you're very drawn to researching your soul's origins and to connecting with the star system that you're from. But as a starseed, connecting with higher realms, higher dimensions is often something that comes very easily to us. Again, it's because we're holding that higher frequency. So we have access to radio stations that the average person might struggle to connect with. So having that connection with your star family can really be helpful to bringing you guidance, bringing you higher dimensional wisdom and information. So that is something to explore as one of the gifts you might have brought in as a starseed. The next thing that is a gift for many starseeds is this incredibly sensitive physical body that we have. Now, we talk a lot in these videos about some of the challenges that come with that sensitivity, but many starseeds find that they have a physical body that is more sensitive than the average person. And this sensitivity can take several forms. Some people are sensitive to chemicals and products. Other people are much more sensitive, as we were talking about earlier, to energies, to the emotions of other people. But either way, as starseeds, we often find that our body is a very sensitive instrument. And while it has some challenges and brings some baggage with it, the upside of that, or the gift in that, is that as starseeds, our bodies are very powerful forms of guidance for us. So if you've listened to some of my videos, you'll hear me talk all the time about how important it is for all of us, really, to listen to our bodies. And our bodies are giving us feedback 24/7, leading us to what is right for us. And so as you learn to listen more to your body and less to the peanut gallery around you, your body will guide you. And this is so important for us as starseeds right now, because there's so much conflicting information in the world. It's almost impossible to know what is true, what is false, what is just right for us, what even is the next step in our life. And so learning to take advantage of this highly sensitive body that you have can be a great way to navigate the world right now. In fact, it's really the only thing we can trust is our body. So as starseeds, you probably have a body that is more sensitive than average. And if you learn to start following the guidance of your body, you will find that it will lead you to everything that you need on your soul's path. So listening to your body can guide you as to what to eat right now. And again, as starseeds, we are so incredibly sensitive that a lot of times we have special dietary needs. And so your body, if you learn to listen to it, will give you feedback. What do you need this week? You might find that you need different foods when we're going through these intense solar energies. Your body will guide you. It will guide you on how much water you need to drink. Because again, that's an area where as starseeds, we often have special needs. We might need more water because we tend to be processing and moving more energy through ourselves than the average person is. So again, listen to your body's guidance. It will guide you to what kind of exercises are best for you. How much should you exercise? When do you need to take a break from exercising? Your body as a starseed is one of your most valuable superpowers because it is such a powerful and strong form of feedback from our higher self. So again, this is something that starseeds are going to really have an advantage in many times compared to the average person, because this incredible sensitivity that we have that can be a double-edged sword at times is a very powerful source of intuitive guidance for us. So learning to listen to your body is one of the best things you can do as a starseed to navigate your path, to find your way to your truth. And as starseeds, that's what we're all trying to do. Find out what our soul mission is, what we are here to do, so that we can get on with it. So listening to your body would be one of the top things that I see as one of our superpowers as starseeds. Another thing that I see so many starseeds being really incredible at is we tend to be great manifestors. So if you are someone who is wanting to achieve certain things in your life, achieve certain goals, if you are a starseed and are really working with your energy, you will probably find that you are excellent at manifesting. You may be one of those people who all you have to do is think of something and it lands in your lap. And this is something that I see so many of my starseed clients are just amazing at. And again, this all comes down to the energy we're holding, the multidimensional information that we bring in from our star system of origin. And all of that is still hanging out in our body, in our energetic field. As we learn some quick intuitive tools to help us guide these powers and abilities, starseeds tend to be really good at creating the life they want to create. It seems to just come a little more easily to starseeds than it does for some other people who can have more of a struggle with it. So if you are a starseed and you find that it's very easy to manifest, that might be one of your starseed superpowers. And finally, something else that jumps out at me as I look across the spectrum of the starseeds that I work with, I see that so many starseeds are gifted teachers and healers. So this goes back to an earlier topic that we talked about with starseed missions, that one of the things many starseeds come in to do as their soul path is to be a teacher of higher dimensional wisdom and information. And so one thing that I see many starseeds excelling at is being excellent teachers, healers, leaders, because it's one of those things that we often mastered when we were in our home star civilization. Many of us were teachers and healers, and we brought that teaching and healing ability into this incarnation. So if that is something that draws you, if you are attracted to sharing the wisdom that you learn with the world, if you are drawn to healing modalities, as a starseed, there's a chance you are going to be very, very good at it. And one thing in particular that I notice about starseeds who are drawn to healing is that many times they are gifted at coming up with new healing modalities. So maybe they will go and they will study one of the conventional modalities, and then they'll start tapping into their native healing abilities, and they'll start to bring in from their guides, from their past lives, all of these new and improved healing techniques. And again, this is something that so many starseeds are really, really good at, is creating new healing techniques and modalities. And a lot of times it ties back to your star mission. This may be something that you brought from an incarnation in Arcturus or in Sirius, where you were a great healer. And one of your intentions may have been to bring some of those very high dimensional healing techniques into the earth plane. So if that is something that attracts you as a starseed, if you're drawn to teaching and healing, there is a good chance you will be excellent at it. So let me know in the comments below, what are your superpowers as a starseed? Again, these don't mean that every starseed will have every one of these, but I'm just sharing a couple things that I see being more common in starseeds than the average person. So this gives you some things to look for if you're not quite sure what your special gifts and abilities are, because if you are a starseed, I promise you, you have them. And sometimes it just takes hearing some examples to kind of stoke the fire of your imagination and help you be a detective to figure out what your special starseed superpowers are. I will see you next time. I hope this helps. Bye.